Hey guys, we're talking more on wiring diagrams today, how to read these diagrams. When we start looking at wiring diagrams for automotive stuff, there's going to be a lot of information on that diagram. From previous videos we know what our ground symbol is, our battery, we know our protection device is a fuse, connectors, more grounds, and some of our loads. Now as we go through, there's more information here. So let's use, for example, our fuse. 10A, it's a 10 amp fuse. F5 means fuse number 5. Some of the diagrams, they'll go a little more in depth and tell you which fuse box. If the vehicle has multiple fuse boxes, it might show you it's the under the hood unit, or it might be the one under the dash. You notice we have red up here. If you see abbreviations next to wiring, and let's say this guy has a 0.5 next to it, this means it's a 0.5 millimeter diameter wire, which is kind of a small wire, and is a red wire. As we move along, so we hit connector 100, so we know that was a connector, we have a male and a female. We move through our switch, we see it changes color to purple. A lot of the abbreviations, they usually use 3 letters, and if you kind of sound out the abbreviation, it'll give you an idea of what color that wire is. So we have a purple wire, we start hitting some splices. We have different numbers on the splices, letting you know that they're in different locations. Let's say we follow down this first circuit here, and we see BRN. That is brown. That is a brown wire. So you're looking for a brown wire on that circuit. Comes down, we hit a connector. We hit C200. There's a light bulb. It's our load. And then another connector number. Now notice these connector numbers are the same connector number. There's not 2 separate parts of it, but what we have, so like this blower motor, for example, we have one plug-in. There's a positive and negative terminal in that blower motor. So drawn out, yeah, they look like they're farther apart, but they're going to be the same connector. And as we continue down, we hit a ground. And that ground wire is BLK, which is black, and it would ground. Now our ground location is G200, so we know, okay, if we're looking for that ground, we can go into All Data or Mitchell or whoever we're using for our service information. It'll tell us ground 200 as, let's say it's out under the hood, it's at this such and such location. We come up to this other circuit, we're still following the purple wire. We have a splice, it's splice 300. We come down, we have WHT, which is white. So that's the white wire. We come down, we got a motor, connector C300, and again we have a black wire for ground, it is G300. We move over here to the green wire, GRN, green. More connectors, we have a resistor in that circuit, and a black wire for ground. Now some of these, so not all cars have simple wiring. They're not just, well, we got 5 different wires and that's it. They're going to get into where they have a wire that's going to be GRN slash, we'll say YEL, green slash yellow. What that means is that wire, the entire jacketing of that wire, the insulation, is green, and it'll have a yellow tracer or a yellow stripe on it. So it'll be a fine line. So you're going to get into some of these, you're going to have all kinds of weird combinations. You might have a BRN with an ORG, and you sound out brown and orange, you're looking for a brown wire with a orange tracer or orange stripe. So when you're looking through these harnesses, make sure you're checking for that stripe. Sometimes it's pretty fine. Some of them, they wrap it around the wire instead of just being a fine line. In the heavy truck industry, Freightliner, for example, uses all yellow wires. You get in the dash one, it looks like somebody dumped a bunch of spaghetti in there. A bunch of yellow wires, but they print real fine on their wires. They have numbers. So you can find the numbers and you go to the diagram and say, okay, this number wire is for this circuit. So as we continue through wiring diagrams, we're going to do some activities. I'm going to see if I can set them up on a Google Classroom where I can either have you guys trace them in Google Slides, or we're going to see kind of experiment here, because usually we do these in class with paper and highlighters, and we'll trace through the circuit to see the power flow, which is very useful when you're troubleshooting a circuit and you start tracing through the wiring diagram and say, okay, to this point I have 12 volts, to this point I have 12 volts, and you're tracing down and you get to this point and say, hey, I lost my volts. Now you know what area you're looking at to find that problem. I still do it 37 years on this planet. I still do tracing. I trace it out with a highlighter. Come along and then, okay, all this stuff's good. I have a problem somewhere in this area and I can troubleshoot that problem. So I will see you guys next time.